come from nowhere to being, leaders in refining.
There are over 20 million registered cars in Korea today, about 1.6 cars
The number
per
of
household.
smartphone users today has reached 55 million, exceeding Korea's...
The country's GDP per capita is about $30,000 today, compared to a mere $80 in 1960.
The history of Korea's socio-economic development, often referred to as the miracle of the Pan River, began at KDI in 1971.
And if you ask some of these senior people involved, why did you make the right decisions? The essence of their reply was, we had no choice. Failure was not an option.
The final year of the second five-year plan, the EPB undertook a review of the plan to see whether there were any targets that had not been met. And they found that all of the targets had been exceeded except one, and that was to create an economic policy research institute for the government.
KDI was established in order to support the Korean government in formulating 5-year economic development plan. KDI has invited a group of economists with a comprehensive understanding of a national economy as well as acute economic insight.
KDI is the only comprehensive policy-oriented research institute in areas of social science. KDI's independent, innovative, and impactful policy recommendations is rooted in the Institute's long tradition of applying rigorous and scientific research methods. Collaborating with leading international research and academic institutions, KDI seeks to achieve world-class excellence in its research. KDI is ranked as one of the top 50 think tanks in the world and also Asia's #1 think tank by the University of Pennsylvania.
KDI has been advocating the urgent need to address Korea's rapidly aging population and declining birth rate.
KDI has been emphasizing the necessity of structural and regulatory reform for sustainable development of the Korean economy that is entering a slow growth phase. KDI has delivered education training programs and content on economic and public policy issues for policymakers, the media, educators, and the public in order to support rational economic activities by raising public awareness.
KDI's feasibility studies of investment projects has been estimated to have resulted in more than 6.135 trillion won in cost savings.
KDI is engaged with over 50 countries and conducted more than 800 projects as part of its development knowledge sharing program.
KDI School of Public Policy and Management fosters the leaders and reformers of tomorrow from around 120 countries.
Conducted together, and the list along with 12 chief researchers.
So the key for development in Korea is the participation of KDI. So it is very, very important.
Wow, what I'm learning from KDI is the Korean development experience. It's very, very important for my country to emulate this extraordinary experience because it's very crucial for its own socio-economic development.
We had a very important president to this program, IDP International Development Exchange Program. It started back in 1982. Today, if you travel the developing world, you run into some of those alumni. One of the very distinct alumni is the current, the Minister of Finance, Brunei.
So it's not only a source of lessons learned, but also a source of inspiration and motivation for other countries.
It's a platform to address socio-economic problems from local, regional and international areas across the globe.
An important contribution that guides the future development of our country.
A factory of ideas about socio-economic growth.
Living lab to practice future policy.
Agent of transformation.
It's your success story.